Hello, so welcome to this section today. So we'll be discussing how to get a multiple entry Schengen visa. Yeah. So if you have any question, leave them in the comment box and I would answer your question. So first of all, let's begin. What is a Schengen visa? So a Schengen visa is a visa that allows you to go into the EU countries for a specific number of times. So there are areas in the EU that are dedicated as Schengen zone. So these visas allow you to stay in this area. And there are different type of this visa. You have the single entry visa, which allows you to go into the Schengen zone for just one time. You have the multiple entry visa, which allows you to visit the Schengen zone over and over again. I'll suggest that is the kind of visa you should aim for. So you don't have to keep spending money in getting the visa. And then you have the transit visa, which allow you to transit within airports in the Schengen zone. Okay, so having known that, so I'm going to take in some questions. So I'll be looking into my phone. So the next question we have is that which countries are part of the Schengen area? So as at the time I'm making this video, there are about 29 countries that are part of the Schengen area. Yes, and so if you check, if you just ask Google, what are the countries in the Schengen zone, it will mention them one by one. Yeah, Google will give you that answer. Just to mention some few, we have France, we have Netherlands, Italy, and just name the rest of them. So Google, and then you get more of that answer. So the next question is, do I need a visa to enter the Schengen state? Yeah, so it depends on your nationality. So certain nationality are be given exemption the number of days that they can stay or reside within the Schengen zone. So the first thing is to check your eligibility. So check the country consulate among the Schengen country that you intend to visit to see, or are you eligible to visit there without a visa? And if you're eligible, how long can you stay in that area without her obtaining the Schengen visa? So find out that information from the country consulate. And if you're not eligible for that, you need a visa. Yes, then you should apply for a Schengen visa so you don't get deported or have like a negative in your travel history that you've been denied entry into a country before. So the next question is how long before the start of my trip should I apply for a Schengen visa? Yeah, so before the start of your trip, it's usually advisable that you apply 3 months prior to the time before taking that trip because different country have like different time limit that they allow. You never know like how many people have put in the application, how busy it might be at the consulate of the country you tend to visit, or how well staffed that this country are. So you want to put in your application at a much earlier time before the period. And then again, also some countries are very fast while some are slow. So just to be on the safe side, apply like 3 months or at minimum they say it's like 15 days to the time that you intend to take your trip that you can apply. But there are also like cases, could be emergency cases. So always reach out to the consulate of the country to find out. But they're advisable if you have enough time to plan a 3 months, if you intended to visit the area, or like within 1 month or 2 months will be fine. And then the next question is what document do I need to provide when submitting my visa application? Yes, so first of all, you need an international passport because, like, you are going internationally, so you need to have an international passport, which is a valid means of international recognition. So, you must have your international passport and you must take a passport photograph, which should be recent, not taking more than 6 months, and it should be on a white background, and you're not putting on glasses. So your face can be seen easily. So there are instructions on that. You can also find that on the internet to know the documents that you require. You also require your bank statement at least 3 months just to show inflow and outflow of like cash. You also need travel insurance. Yes, and then you need an employment letter. And if you're a student, you need a student letter. And you also need to show proof of booking of hotel accommodation, air tickets, mentioning them. So I'm gonna like do a separate video and go into details explaining each of these documents because each of these documents play a role again in the kind of like visa that you're going to have. So you don't want to miss that video. So subscribe to this channel so you get a notification when I post that video. Okay, so the next question that we have here is my international passport expires in 2 months' time Am I eligible to apply for a Schengen visa? So, as a general rule, so your passport must be valid 3 months prior to when you return back from the Schengen area. So, if you have a passport that's less than 3 months, you are not eligible. But like I said, there's always exemption to the case. So, you want to like reach out to the consulate. The consulate at the end makes the final decision on if they will give a visa or they will not give you a visa. But as a general rule of thumb, you should not wait like when your passport is expiring, like or prior to like 2 months, 1 month at the time, 3 months. At least give yourself enough time so that you can get multiple entry. Because again, your passport length might have like determine the length of the visa that they will give to you. So the next question is, must my bank statement be stamped by the bank before I can apply for a Schengen visa? Yeah. So I think it depends on the location where you are. So, like if you live in, not necessarily that your bank statement has to be stamped. So, if you live in a continent like Europe, where digital banking is very common, where you have bank like Revolut, Monzo Bank, these banks don't need to be stamped. And I have used this to make applications for myself and also for people because I run visa processing services. And yes, they got visa without the application being stamped. But then again, if you live in a region where internet banking is not common or is not trusted, and it has been stated exactly that you have to like use a bank statement that is stamped, please follow that instruction so you don't get your visa denied. Yes, so but on the other hand, so like I said, it depends on the location where you live. It's not necessarily that you have to have your bank statement stamped. So the next question here, because we're doing common question and answer for the Schengen visa, is must my bank, okay, we've answered that. How much does it cost to apply for a Schengen visa? So it depends on the country where you are, where you reside. So where you currently reside is, so there are prices on where you currently reside and how much it will cost for the visa. And then it also depends on the country that you intend to visit. So each country have different price, even though like it's a Schengen visa that allows you to travel across multiple countries, but each of these country have a specific price that they charge to people. So you find that information again on the website. And then I mean, currency exchange is there. So different country, different currency, depends on where you are located. So I can't be specific to mention this is the exact amount that it costs. And different visa processing centers. I mean, there's VFS, TLS, and they also like charge for their own fee and their services. So to find that information, those information are available on the website of the country or the region where you tend to visit. So how the next question is, where do I submit my visa application? This is very important. It is a it has been stated that so you can't, for example, maybe you live in a continent like Africa and then you're visiting Europe and you want to apply for a Schengen visa there. Most times it's not acceptable. They said apply for a visa on the country where you reside, not a country where you went to visit. Except probably you have a work permit or yeah, you have indefinite leave to remain in that country. Other than that, being a visitor, when you go back to your home country, apply for a Schengen visa from your country. Yes, that is the best thing to do. So apply for a visa from your country. That is where you should apply for. And again, it depends on the country, like I said. So each country have different services they use. For Greece, I know Greece use GVC. It depends on again the country and continent where you reside. For Spain, it's BLS, there's VFS and TLS, which are the most common ones. So check to see where. If you check the embassy of the consulate you apply to, they'll tell you, oh, this is the visa processing center or the services that we use. So use that particular service to apply for, go there to apply so you don't make a mistake of messing up your document. So the next question we have is, how long does the visa application take after submitting? Again, it depends on the country. So many factors. You never know how this embassy is busy, the time of the year, how many application, hours staff that they are. But as a general rule is like 15 days after submission. But some countries are very fast, while some are very slow. They take up to 1 month or more. If you want me to do a separate video to tell you like the fastest country where you can get a Schengen visa within 14 days or less, leave it in the comment box and I'll make that video separately for you. So as a general rule, apply, like I say, you can apply 3 months prior to the time of your departure. Don't wait till the dying minute. And then again, there's like also working service and premium service where you can like some cases it's available all year round. Sometimes it's not available. You have to like rebook. So reach out to the processing center to find out if that service is available. And if you are using premium or work in services, most times again that determines also the price, because you can't allow someone who books normal booking and you who are on premium or work in services to pay the same amount. That again will influence how much you pay for your visa. The next question that is here is, can I enter the Schengen area in country X? Why the visa was issued by country state Y? So it's just saying, oh, if, for example, I intend to, because the question here is, can I enter the Schengen area, maybe in France? Why my visa was issued by Denmark? Yes, this absolutely work, and I've done that before. So it's not compulsory that you have to like go to the country that issued you the Schengen visa as your first point of entry. So many factors are there. Maybe you tend to like spend more days in the other country of a point of destination. So you can decide to go there, or probably you're even transited through another Schengen state before the main state that you tend to visit. So it's not compulsory that you have to like go into that first country. So forget about I think that's a myth and a lot of misconception that be spread around. I personally I have used I didn't go to the country that issued me a Schengen visa first. I went to another country first, even visited another country the second time. At the third time that I went to the country, to that country that issued me the Schengen visa. Because you might want to go to France, but you've checked like all to book an appointment, you can't find an appointment date, and then you keep waiting, and then that denies you the opportunity to go to the country. But when making the application, it might raise a red flag to say, oh, everything you're listed there is France. You can just tailor it to like, I mean, you can do a lot of dummy tickets and dummy booking of things to say, okay, yeah, I tend to like visit your country. But when you're being issued the visa, you can visit the other country you tend to visit. But always advise that even though you don't go there immediately, before the end of that your Schengen visa, you should go to that country that issue you, just to kind of like show. I mean, that is where you make your application from. I believe that is very helpful. So if you're getting value from this video, like, and don't forget to like subscribe to the channel. And again, if you want me to do a separate video on, because there's a question of, do I have to like book actual tickets for air flights and for accommodation, leave it in the comment box and I will make that video to show you how to like do dummy booking of tickets, so you don't spend so much money at the end of the day when you're not sure if you travel at that exact date or if you get your passport before that particular time. So another question that is very important about the Schengen visa is, my visa has been issued, for example, by German consulates. Could I use the visa to make a trip to other Schengen states? Yes, I've answered the question previously. And then someone is like, how long is a Schengen visa valid? So it depends on what the country gives to you. So when you make your application, I'll let's say make for a multiple entry so you can visit over and over again. But for that, some country might give you 1 year, some can give you 90 days, some can give you 30 days, some can give you 7 days, 14 days. So it depends on the duration. Follow the rule, what was stated there, to the allocated time that was given to you for your visa, so you don't overlap. So you don't stay long more than that, because that is going to like hinder you from like getting visa again when you make an application. So check on, read what is stated to you. Some visa, there is Schengen, they say Schengen, but then they will mention specific countries that you can only visit. While some is just Schengen state, meaning you can go to whichever Schengen state. And some will be, oh, this is the number of days we're giving to you. So please, when you receive your visa, read what is written on your sticker. So that determines how long you should stay. And I say general rule. So if you are given a 30-day visa, you're supposed to say half of that day, which is 15 days. If you are giving no, let me not make mistakes. So if you're given a 90-day visa, so you're not expected to stay in the country more than 30 days, like within the Schengen zone, in and out for 30 days. So there are rules to this thing, and you can find such information on the internet. And the question here is, do I have to present any documents at the Schengen external borders apart from my travel documents with the Schengen visa? Yeah, so having a Schengen visa does not guarantee that you will enter. A visa is one thing, but visiting that place is actually another thing. So at the point of entry is where it's been decided by the immigration officer if you should be allowed in or out. So you want to be careful here. Most times there are common questions, and then again, I'm going to also do a video because I don't want life to go so long and so big. Just like give you the bits of information that you need on like common question that they ask, so that when you get to the point of entry, you can't imagine you bought flight ticket to fly there. People know you are traveling, or not even people knowing, or you've planned on, oh, this is what I'm going to do for this specific number of days, and only for you to get to the border and someone is like, no, you cannot enter, you have to go back. Waste of time, waste of money, and that is even like a bad record on your document. You don't want that to happen. So be prepared. Most common questions, I'm going to make that video, so subscribe so you don't miss whenever I drop these content that are very relevant for your travel trip. But then I'll just show you some common questions. Most times they just ask you where are you going to stay, because they want to be sure that, oh, really, just to have some kind of like backlog of information. Yeah, if it's not to that country, to know, yeah, where would you be, what will you be doing, just things like that. So just have like the name of the hotel you plan to stay. You should have that information at hand. And some might also ask you, oh, when are you leaving? Because how many days do you want to stay in the country? This is if you're not here to like permanently relocate, just to have that information. So tell them, and that information should tally with your ticket, because most times some of this immigration officer can go the extra mile to say, oh, we want to like see your return ticket. And then if you have said, oh, I'm going on Friday, whereas your ticket is showing Tuesday, that's going to raise a red flag to say, oh, so you don't intend to leave the area. So make sure that your information match. And even with accommodation booking, sometimes they might be curious to say, oh, can I send a confirmation of this booking? But then I've really sometimes, because like sometimes I've traveled and I've not really booked the accommodation. I'm like, oh, I think I want to go like see that property first. Remember in booking dummy ticket, like, oh, this is the confirmation I've had like earlier time. And then you can just use that to show, or just it depends on how you present yourself. They might not even ask you those questions, but these are just like common questions that you might be asked at the border. So the next question is, can I leave the Schengen area and return again with my Schengen visa? Yes, if you have a multiple entry visa, you can visit the Schengen area over and over again. And that's why I said aim for a multiple Schengen entry. And that is when you're doing your application in the form, is there, do you want a single or a multiple? Even though you know you want to visit the Schengen zone once, I think always take the multiple, because you never know, something might come up. You don't want to miss that opportunity. And I mean, it's still the same cost. It determines on whoever is issuing the visa to say, okay, this is, I'll give you multiple or single. So tick that option. And I, like I said, I'll do a separate video, because in the application form again is what determines what kind of visa exactly they're going to give to you, if it's going to be multiple or like single entry. So like I said, subscribe, because I don't want this the live to go so long, because there's a lot of questions that need some clarity, so you understand what a visa is before we think about like how to like do the multiple entry. But with this information from here, you can also apply, and that can also help you getting a multiple entry. But if you want to see that other part of the video, subscribe so you get that notification when that video happens. And so the next question is, I have connecting flights with a stop at a Schengen state airport. Do I have to apply for a airport transit visa or a short stay visa? I mean, if you know you want to transit within the airport, apply for a transit visa. But like I said, if you apply for a visitor's visa, which is a short stay visa, even though you have a transit, nobody's going to like question you. I mean, you have a Schengen visa, and you can use the opportunity to like explore the Schengen zone. So why not take advantage of that? But if you're just like, oh, transit visa, no time, so you can apply for a transit visa rather than going for a visitor's visa. And the next question here is, I have a valid long stay resident permit for a country that's part of the Schengen area. Do I need another visa to travel to other Schengen states? No, you don't need, as far as you have like um a visa to live in the country, you don't have to get another permit. You can keep using that over and over again. So I believe that these tips that I've shared in this video are very helpful. And don't forget to like, subscribe, because I'll drop the other video where I cover the application form, filling the form together, and the basic information that you need so you don't miss out. And that will give you your multiple entry visa. So subscribe and click on the notification so you watch that video when I drop it. So any question, leave them in the comment box, and maybe I will add that when I'm uploading that video. And I always I answer questions. So I always say happy travels. Bye for now.